In Alaska's backwoods, a reported madman is on the loose.
Said you better watch out too. I know where you sleep.
Started to take his clothes off and ran off into the trees. Worst case scenario is waiting for us for an ambush.
Then, troopers head deeper in the bush for a grisly discovery.
We got a call from a camper. He found some remains.
There's like multiple hands, feet.
Oh God, what is that?
See that pile right there?
What is that?
And a bloody beatdown sends one man to the ER.
Stop wiping up blood.
We're leaving, man.
And the other to the back of the squad car.
Somebody get on it once. We do that again, we get hog tied.
It's late night in the Matsu Valley
Back Monday 17.
when Trooper Joseph Hess gets a chilling call.
We got a call from a camper who reported he found some remains near a boat launch. He says it's not just bones, it's some muscle and sinew, and looks like it's not too old. He told me he's an experienced hunter, and they didn't look like animal to him. He didn't know what it was.
The vast wooded areas outside Palmer provide the perfect dumping grounds for items people don't want found.
I mean, if he's an experienced hunter, he should be able to tell if it's an animal or not. He also mentioned there was a hotel key nearby or in the remains, so we'll go there and see what it is. Mac Moby 17, 1023.
Looks like human feet. I mean, I'll show you where it is.
Lead the way.
Kids were out there and all of a sudden they were like, oh, there's remains or something. And we came up and looked and I was like, well, that doesn't look normal.
There's like multiple hands, feet.
I didn't want to alarm or anything, but I just wanted to at least make it known that something's out here. And
Part of that pile right there.
Right there.
You see it?
Mm-hmm.
That's yellow leg. What was that?
I don't know what that's.
see what I'm saying?
God, what is that? I mean, it looks like the toes of a human.
I mean, I hunt and everything, but it's still like, something like that. It's like, what is that? That's a hand.
Yeah, this is bear. Bear paws and forearms look extraordinarily like human remains.
But what would this be right here?
Could be anything. You know, it could be just a gut pile from, two bears or one bear. Multiple people will go out hunting and multiple people will shoot black bears. And they might just butcher them all together, throw all the stuff they couldn't salvage in a sack, and then go out in the woods and dump it. So you got one paw, two paws, three, and then four. We even have classes on it in the academy, how to determine the difference between bears and humans, just on first observation. They look like a human hand. Once you kind of look at it and realize how big it is and how the joints are, you can kind of tell it's a bear.
All right, well, I just want to make sure I don't...
No, yeah, absolutely, did the right thing. We'll let the wildlife troopers know about it. They'll come out, I'm sure, and take a look. You can poke around all you want now.
No, I'm done with all that.
Chicken wings, anybody?
You guys are camping out here?
Yeah.
You got bear protection and everything?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Well, appreciate the call. Better safe than sorry.
Deeper in Alaska's backwoods, Sergeant Nicholson races to the kind of call that puts a lone trooper on edge.
I received a call from a small group of campers. There was a couple males that had an argument. One male started threatening to harm others in the camp, started to take his clothes off and ran off into the trees. Do we have any history with him?
10-4 indecent exposure in 2010 and arrest warrant in 2007.
10-4. Sounds like our guy. The camp that we're looking for is outside of Salana, which is about 100 miles from Glen Allen, still part of my patrol area. There won't be any backup out in the area, plus we won't have any radio or cell coverage, so we'll be completely out of contact with dispatch. Worst case scenario, he could be off in the woods waiting for us to show up as well for an ambush.
He stops at the ranger station to meet with the terrified campers who put in the call.
I'd start with you. What did you see?
I was smoking a cigarette out by the outhouse, and he asked for it, and then I said no, and then he got really mad after that. He asked me if I wanted to get in a fight, and then he took off his sweatshirt and then started beating on his chest and said he can tear me apart.
Okay, what happened after that?
He stormed off running and yelling and screaming.
And ran out into the trees?
Yes.
Okay, so he didn't threaten to kill anybody?
Said something like, you better watch out too, or something like that. I'll get all of you. I know where you sleep.
I'm going to head down and see if we can make contact with him, okay?
As he heads deeper into the woods, crazed campers aren't the only things he has to look out for.
A lot of times it's not the other vehicles we have to worry about. It's the caribou, the moose, you name it. We see it out here. We just had a bear run across the road in front of us. This area is littered with brown and black bears. You never know what's going to run out in front of you here. Here's the campground we're looking for. We have to treat every situation like they know we're coming. Be prepared for that, hope for the best, and expect the worst.
Nicholson knows he could be heading into an ambush.
You got to be in your right mind. You got to be thinking about all the variables that come into play.
He locates the suspect.
Sergeant Nicholson with the troopers, I need to talk to you.
But can't tell if he's armed.
Why don't you come on out here? Get your shoes on. Come out and talk to me. You have any weapons with you? Turn around for me. Just let me double check.
He comes up clean.
What's going on tonight?
Well, basically, it's just he was smoking a cigarette. I asked for a couple dregs, and he goes, "No, this is my cigarette. You broke native." What? You broke what? And I took that pretty seriously.
Did you threaten to beat him up?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I heard you took your shirt off and was pounding on your chest. Were you trying to intimidate him?
It's just, I took it offensive.
Yeah, there was no punches, boot thrown or anything?
There's no physical assault, but Nicholson reconnects with a complainant to make sure this argument doesn't escalate into something deadly.
All right. So I talked with... He said that he made some snide comments to him, and that's what spurred him on. If you did call him the names that he said you called him, well, you might want to rethink your actions, because is it really worth getting into a fight over and getting into a trouble criminally? No, it's not. Stay away from him. Okay? All right, we'll see you later. In this case, it turned out for the best. Everybody got to go home for the night, and they got to stay back in their camp. All right.
Back in the Matsu Valley,
it's at 5 with the other units.
it's 6 o'clock and all hands are on deck for a gun call.
Now we're going to a call with a gentleman. He's reporting people trespassing on his property. He basically wants to go take care of it himself. In other words, he's saying he's going to use firearms and go confront the people out there.
And the trespasser is just as dangerous.
The neighbor is a trespass issue. He's 1098, possibly a little 1096 as well.
Apparently the neighbor trespassing on his property has a warrant and likes to run, as he's frequently has a warrant for his arrest. This is a time-sensitive call, especially with the two gentlemen that we're dealing with, one of them being a wanted and then the other one threatening with guns.
The troopers arrive in force and park out of sight.
Okay, so last time I arrested him, he ran from me, so we need to hurry. Maybe that one real quick. You got the back lead? Yeah.
They surround the house where they believe the trespasser is hiding. Taser in hand, in case he bolts.
Take over. Where is he?
You can go in there and look.
All right. Can you stay there, please?
Suddenly, Phillips hears something downstairs.
Yeah, moving inside, running inside, running inside.
Troopers can't find their trespassing suspect, but on their way out, they spot a different man with an arrest warrant.
You guys have a warrant.
Yeah.
Because you guys need a warrant.
Now, the irate homeowner turns on the troopers for unexpectedly putting her guest in cuffs.
Everybody sit down, please.
Oh my God, what the hell? I need to leave now. Mine's gonna go my God right now.
Hey, let's go. Let's go. All right, relax. Everybody relax. We're leaving, ma'am. Ma'am, please. Please, please, ma'am, please.
Stop! Get off! Hey, man. You guys look at three.
This man has a $10,000 warrant for his arrest and has had some frightening run-ins with the troopers before.
You got a mallet in his hand.
Why are you carrying a mallet?
I just picked up that.
Hey, turn around. You got blood all over you. What's going on?
Oh, my cousin just came up to me and started fighting.
Your cousin came up to you and started fighting? Where's your cousin at?
He took off in his car.
Hey, you didn't hit him with this mallet, did you?
No. I wish I could take these off. You know that? This ain't dog.
They invite us in, and they actually said, so-and-so wasn't there. Go downstairs and look. We spot actually a different subject who didn't have a warrant for $750. It was a $10,000 warrant.
As night falls on the Matsu Valley, the action picks up.
Complainant called on 911, reported that his neighbor was in a fight with a male friend. The male is bleeding. He just disconnected.
Right down the road. The neighbor called in saying they could hear a disturbance with a woman yelling, no, no, no. I'm pretty sure we'll be first there. It's the last building on the road. Sit down. Right here. Sit down. Sit all the way down. Sit down right there. Where's the person that's hurt? Stop wiping up blood. Sit down. Stay there. Hey, buddy, you okay? You all right, man?
Trooper Hess finds an unknown male badly beaten and out cold on the floor.
Malcolm, 17, send in medics. He's unconscious. Who was fighting? Chill. Chill. Listen to me. If you keep yelling at me, you're going to cuffs. Stand up.
No, baby boy, please don't. Stop.
Turn around.
No, please stop. Don't arrest him now. Why are you arresting him, please? Shut up.
Sit. Sit. Sit down. Started getting a little mouthy with us, so we put him in cuffs just for our safety. I just take him out of that situation so he can spin anybody up inside the house.
With the threat removed, Hess looks for answers.
What happened tonight?
Everybody got in a fight. People were bleeding.
What were they fighting about?
I really don't remember, but it was equally. It's not like hit him when he bleed, you know. I just wanted to come out of the cop car.
Hey, he's kicking out the window.
What's going on inside? What's going on? Don't take my foot down, please.
You trying to kick the window or something?
Seriously, look at it, man.
The entire car was shaking. Move back. What's going on, man? You do that again? We're putting you in hobbles. You're getting hog tied, okay? Move back.
You like fighting the ASC or something? Somebody's saying that.
Yeah, I'm a fighter.
So, what happened?
Verbal disagreement.
No, that isn't just what happened, because that guy's unconscious.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. If I'm threatened, yeah, I'm gonna hit somebody in the...
So, was he threatening you or what?
I felt restricted.
Felt restricted?
Yes, I mean, I just got out of hand quick.
So who did all that to his face?
You're right, I punched him.
The victim finally comes to.
How you feeling, man?
Why do I live like this? Why am I
I don't know what happened and why you got
I don't either. What has happened?
You got into a fight with over there.
Serious? I don't even know why will hit me.
So you don't remember anything that happened?
No.
You want to press charges on your buddy?
No, I do not.
You want nothing to happen?
No. This is my homie. Here's my friend. And I don't know what happened. I really don't.
Okay, man. Thanks. Nobody would tell us why the fight started. It just seemed to kind of occurred out of nowhere, and the alcohol definitely was a factor in this one. So here's the deal. You're lucky he's your friend because he doesn't want to press charges on you. But you are going to get a disorderly conduct warning, all right? This day and age with UFC and all the TV shows, everybody's heard of MMA, and everybody who's even watched a couple hours of it knows some basic moves. So you just got to be aware of it and cuff them up early.
But the streets aren't the only proving grounds for a trooper. The waters of Alaska can be just as tough.
What we're going to do is we're going to go and seize the debt. The two crewmen are probably going to get put in prison.
Watch it, watch it, watch it! No! Hey, man on the board! Grab him! Get it quick! Get on the boat!
Yeah, it's going to be a fun afternoon, man.
Do you know 5820?
That's where rookie wildlife trooper Jake Abbott is headed for one of his first salmon fishery patrols.
We're going out on patrol vessel Century. It's one of our safe boats. We're going to go towards Fritz Cove. It's a pretty popular spot this time of year for the spring king salmon.
He's partnering with veteran wildlife trooper Aaron Frenzel in case things go sideways.
If something happens, get on 16 and call for the Coast Guard. If you need to tell them where you're at, on the GPS, here's the position. You just read out those numbers to them. They'll know what it means. That's about it.
But with water temperatures just above freezing and blustery winds, the rookie's a little nervous.
I have to say the most stressful thing for me is making sure I don't fall into the water. This is typical spring weather for Southeast Alaska. It can be pretty rough. There's a lot of wind that interacts with everything. You know, you just don't want to fall in.
A quick dip in these waters can kill in just minutes.
So we'll head out. See if we see any guys out fishing today.
I grew up here in Juneau. You know, I can remember growing up and going out and being able to catch just a ton of kings in one day. And now it seems like it's just getting harder.
And big salmon hauls can mean big money. And some fishermen will stop at nothing to get their catch.
Can be nasty around here.
They reach the cove and quickly spot a boat that's breaking the law. They've got too many lines in the water.
3? We've got 3 rods.
It's mid-April, and this early in the season, each licensed fisherman is only allowed 1 line in the water at a time.
Come up to boats. You know, most people you contact around here have a firearm. Well, if they're fishing, they're probably going to have knives. You definitely want to pay attention to what people are doing and what's going on. We've got 3 rods.
Overfishing is against the law, and wildlife troopers take it very seriously, handing out steep fines and, in extreme cases, even jail time.
Hey, how you guys doing? All right, how are you? Not too bad. You guys got your licenses and stuff with you? Is anyone else that's on board?
There's one other adult.
Okay, who's all fishing today? You're not fishing? Just him? What's that? Is there any guns or anything on board? Okay. So my name's Trooper Abbott. I'm just going to hop on real quick and talk with you guys, all right?
Basically, we got 3 adults, 1 sport fish license in this case, and 2 poles we can fish. So either one guy with a license was fishing 2 poles, or someone was sport fishing without a license.
See how this goes.
The rookie boards the boat alone to get a straight answer.
Just gotta keep an eye on her, see what else here.
I guess kind of what the deal is, you know, you got 3 people on board the boat. You got more than 1 rod in the water, and you got 3 rods on back.
No, yeah, because I just don't leave them inside. So.
Okay. So, I mean, either A, someone's fishing who potentially doesn't have a license, okay. Or...
well, he was reeling in because he was just trying to help get him out of the crops.
You know, you're fishing 2 rods.
You can fish 2 rods per person right now, as far as I'm concerned.
No, it's only 1 rod per person right now.
Sorry. I know, I didn't want to get these guys in trouble. I thought it was 2.
If you look in the regulations, it will actually tell you 1 line. It's under the general provisions.
Yeah.
Okay?
Trooper Abbott issues the man a $110 citation and heads back out on patrol.
Thank you, gentlemen.
But the conditions worsen, making the job all the more dangerous.
Well, it's nice in here, but out there it's picking up still. The wind is getting nasty. It's continuing to get harder.
As they round the point, they spot a skiff too small for these treacherous seas.
You want to wrap right up to them?
Or come up on this side of them, put them on our starboard side.
Hello, how you guys doing? We're just going to check your license and stuff real quick if you can pull that out. Whoop. Backwards.
Well, they're being pushed into us. I got to be on the controls.
Trooper Frenzel struggles with the surf. A collision could capsize the tiny craft and plunge the couple and their St. Bernards into the freezing waters.
Too much wind.
Give me 1 second here. Let me check these. Both these people look good.
Their paperwork checks out, but Frenzel has bigger concerns.
I don't think he realizes how big the water's getting out there.
It's getting pretty rough out there, so you guys know. Yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and follow you guys in, just to make sure you make it in all right. But we're going to go ahead and follow them into the harbor to make sure they make it there all right. The wind's starting to pick up, and the water's starting to get pretty stacked.
There's a lot of dogs here.
On a small boat, definitely not very much fun.
I bet you she is just living.
I hope he intends to cut out.
You might be scared to turn. Try to turn around. You get yourself in trouble. If you don't time it right, do it. Oh, here he goes. Now they're fine.
The skiff averts disaster, and troopers head home. Back on dry land, 450 miles north in the sparsely populated community of Glen Allen. Trooper Heinbach patrols the surrounding woods, where big game animals outnumber people.
One unique thing about in this area is we don't have backup. I'm the only one on. If I need backup, the other trooper's at home on his day off today.
With no backup for miles, Heinbaugh must rely on his own wits and skill.
I reported structure fire on Pregnant Creek Road.
The house is burning out of control, and the homeowner may still be inside, but dispatch doesn't know where the house is. Then, a second caller reports the fire at a different address, adding to the confusion.
Yeah, definitely it's going to be on the east side of the New Ridge. So when they mentioned the caller's residence, I know who the caller was. And there's a high likelihood that we'll be the first ones to get there. I don't have any of the gear or anything, so if I went in, it'd be wearing what I'm wearing. Do what you need to do.
But Heinbaugh's knowledge of the area leads him straight to the burning house.
I see a bunch of black smoke right now.
Wildlife trooper Levi Duell is already on scene. He flags an enormous death trap.
Fuel tank.
With no sign of the residents and a fuel tank that could blow at any minute, a neighbor arrives with more bad news.
He's got some firearms and ammo in the back bedroom over here, so might want to stay clear of that section.
Fire took away on fire now. That noise we started playing.
Most of that's probably ammunition, actually. That popping is.
Help finally arrives, but the flames could still spread out of control, sparking a deadly wildfire.
There's a fuel drum on the other side of this shed.
Is there anything in it?
Yeah.
All right, I'll let him know. I gotta get him to fire back up.
The fire crew finally gets the blaze under control. Trooper Heinbaugh checks in with the shaken homeowner who's been watching the blaze from down the road.
You okay?
Yes, sir.
So what happened?
Well, I had a smoker going on my back porch, and I shut it down and thought everything was okay, and went inside, and I guess the wind knocked the door open on it. Next thing I know, I heard some funny noises, and I could see the flames coming up, and the glass broke out.
As you can see, it's pretty much a total loss. So actually, this was a lot better than I thought it would turn out. Nothing spread, you know, everything, nobody's hurt. You know, everything went about as good as it could.
Further north, deep in the Hoodoo Mountains, it's that time of year again. Arctic Man.
There he goes. Damn, man, when you hear those things wind open, it makes you want to look.
This is the 27th year of one of Alaska's most extreme sporting events.
This is our spring break in Alaska. This is sort of the last hurrah before they put their snow machine and all their winter toys away for the year.
This week-long blowout is winter's last and craziest party.
America! Yeah!
Arctic Man is Mardi Gras of Alaska.
Lieutenant Piscoya's in charge of keeping the party in check.
Alcohol is a big problem. We keep the peace. Our primary mission is public safety.
But that's no easy task. With an estimated 10,000 partiers attending this year's festival, troopers are outnumbered almost 700 to 1.
Worst situation would be a bunch of really drunk, angry guys that would outnumber me or a couple of troopers.
How many times have you been coming here? For at least 20 years. We came here before there were any state troopers here, and this used to be an absolute nut house. A couple people get killed every year.
We got everybody? Let's go over some things here. Let's get started.
I've never seen it this full on the first day, and that's because of the weather. So we need to be active on the patrols. This weather is going to drive a lot of activity up, and there's going to be a lot of drinking going on. If they refuse to leave after your first warning, arrest them. If you screw up here at Arctic Man, you will be arrested.
After receiving his orders, Trooper Ryan Mao heads out for his first Arctic Man patrol, unsure of what to expect.
We're just going on some basic patrolling around the Arctic Man event here, making sure people don't do stupid things. We're a visual presence. If they keep seeing us patrol, we're hoping the less likelihood that they're going to do something stupid later on tonight.
If you want to walk to the beer garden, you got a full rack of beers. Sure. You can drink while you walk there.
Yeah, it's like a fanny pack of beer. I like it. It's only 9 o'clock. It's gonna be a long night for you, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
All right, brother. Well, you be safe tonight, all right?
All right. See you later.
All right, man.
But the PR mission doesn't last long. A fellow trooper pulled over a man with a gun, and he needs Mao's assistance.
Called one of our undercover units. Conducted a traffic stop, found out that he wasn't licensed, that there was strong odor of marijuana coming from the vehicle. Found a pop pipe, miscellaneous bit of marijuana, loaded firearm in the vehicle as well.
Fearing it's just the tip of the iceberg, troopers get a search warrant and cone the vehicle.
So level search, front to back, and then we'll go trunk. I got that bag yet.
Not this one? You check that back pocket of the seat?
Yep, I emptied it. And that's what we call drugs. That is a lot of little individually packaged baggies.
Yeah, you brought that to
Absolutely. We found a note saying how much the marijuana was purchased for. And each cell has a listed price and how much was sold. The amount of cash you had in his pocket, you don't have to make change for. This is intended to distribute here.
All right, into the limo. Into the limo we go.
That's more drugs out of the campground. But when night finally falls, the drinking rises to another level. This year's near-record crowd has packed the beer tent, a combination of alcohol and rowdy behavior. And once the beer tent closes, the action picks up. A group of campers is lighting off propane bottles.
People have been lighting off propane?
These guys are denying it.
Yeah, are they doing that over there? Everybody get back to your camps now. Back to your camps now. Everybody get back to your camps now.
Hey, Ramrod, you got your,
Not the time to be asking me, buddy. All of you, not kidding, get back to your camps. This is your one warning. Back to your camps, all of you, now.
Trooper Mao and the rest of the troopers settle the crowd before things get out of hand.
Hennessy, let's go.
And the night ends without a major incident. It's the 5th day of the Arctic Man Festival, race day. The main event is one of the most unique in the world. Skiers race in tandem with snowmobilers reaching speeds of up to 80 miles per hour, and all for the grand prize of $60,000. But Lieutenant Piscoya wakes to some disturbing news.
I had a meeting with the avalanche people, and they were saying the south side of all these mountains start softening up, and that's where we could experience some cornices giving away.
Each year, deadly avalanches are reported all over Alaska, killing an average of 5 people annually. With warm weather forecasted, heavy wet snow can trigger a massive slide, burying racers alive.
I think this is the most snow we've had over the last 5 or 6 years. This is where it would happen if it was going to happen.
Troopers allow the race to continue, but keep a watchful eye on the mountains.
We have some of the craziest young men in Alaska showing all their stuff, and they are wild. Doing backflips, doing side kicks, kick-outs, anything you name it, they can do it here. That was a good one.
But pros on the racing course aren't troopers' main worry. It's the amateurs in the mountains.
Trying to figure out if that's a old avalanche or something that just happened.
Hey, John, did you hear me? So start patrolling.
You have radio coverage, the LT1 Kilo 1 to start flying?
There was an avalanche. They've seen 2 snow machiners come out and possibly 3 that are trapped. That's how fast these things happen, and we have to be ready to respond up there or get resources up there at a moment's notice.
Command base, Kilo 1 is 1019. It's always a concern because you have so many snow machine riders out here, and the terrain is just ripe for avalanches. Look at that. That whole face just came down. See that? Right underneath. Sled right there.
If the missing men are buried in the hard-packed snow, they could suffocate in a matter of minutes.
There's a lot of snow on.
Troopers can only watch anxiously from base.
Staying towards the ridge top, he's approaching from that side. Try not to make another avalanche up there.
Looks like the cornice is off to the right. Yeah. That'll get that whole face started if it lets loose.
The pilot tries to get a closer look without triggering another slide.
Ooh, there. See they fractured it? They're cracked? Oh, yeah. The trap right below us. One set of traps going up, turned around, comes back. 26 you were saying. I see it. Didn't see that?
A lucky break. What looked like a speck in the snow turns out to be the missing men.
Okay. He's just sitting down there, he's vivid. Thumbs up. Look clear then?
Out here, it's a serious thing. We have a helo pilot here to go out and investigate these false alarms. Just a high value resource to go out and do that.
Despite record amounts of snow and people, after 7 long days, the festival wraps up without any major incidents, and Lieutenant Piscoya breathes a sigh of relief.
It wasn't too bad. No troopers hurt. Some things we can't prevent. I am so glad that it's over. Every year I'm so glad it's over. I need a week off or something after this is done.
In the heart of the state, Fairbanks is the gateway to Alaska's rugged interior, where dozens of small communities are flung across hundreds of miles of wild and Arctic terrain. Keeping the peace in this vast area is uniquely Alaskan.
I just recently switched over to the rural unit. It's been a very different experience so far. There's just a lot of conveniences that we don't have here. There's kind of a different sense of preparedness that you have to have. On patrol, I knew that I was going to have backup within a decent amount of time if I needed backup. I don't have that same sense of security going to the villages. You just have to be on guard at all times.
The Fairbanks Rural Unit services 16 outlying villages. Today, an urgent call takes Trooper Riddle to Caltag, the most remote village in her patrol. But Caltag's a 3-hour flight away, so she's got to race to the airport and hop a flight.
The woman got into a fight with her husband. Somehow he ended up pushing her down. She got kneed in the belly. She's 32 weeks pregnant. This is a little bit more serious than some of the other domestic violence issues. It's not just her that's being abused. It's essentially their unborn child in this situation as well. We don't know a great deal about the suspect. We do know that he's been arrested for DV crimes before. With any luck, we will be bringing him back tonight, and he'll go to jail for the assault.
She teams up with Trooper Neeson, and they head out, hoping to get the jump on their suspect.
So hopefully we'll have an element of surprise. The quieter we can be when we come in, the less people are going to be able to know that we're here. We want to have that advantage over people as much as we can.
But their stealth arrival doesn't go as well as planned.
We've been on the ground about 10 minutes, and there's already 2 trucks, 4 four-wheelers. You know, there's like 20 people 100 yards from us. Everybody already knows we're here. We haven't even made it off the strip yet.
You ready to go to work?
I'm ready to go. Kind of lose any type of tactical approach, especially because we're walking into town.
The troopers waste no time and begin their 2-mile hike to the village to arrest a man.
When I was on patrol, I typically knew what to expect. I've never been to this village. I've never been to these people's houses. We kind of have to rely on the people in the village to get us to where we need to go.
Every village has a different personality. Sometimes they're helpful, sometimes they're not. It's like this is a village that's kind of unfamiliar to us. We don't work here very often.
It makes me a little bit nervous when everybody knows that we're here. By now, the rest of the village is already expecting us.
We can either cut through the trail back here, or we can go around the other side and come in from the back.
With 10 people watching us.
They find a village store and begin to look for the suspect.
Hi.
You know where we can find...
No, sir.
We just need to talk to him. Where's he live? It's supposed to be a greenhouse down here.
I haven't seen him.
In the villages, not everybody wants to talk to you. They don't want to tell you where the bad guy is at. And we may not be able to talk to him. We might not be able to find him.
Oh, he's on the plane. When you guys just...
No, I don't know.
We just need to talk to him.
Hold on. No, I haven't seen him.
Do I fit the description? Just a little bit. What's your name, ma'am? Huh? What's your name?
What?
look like you.
Yeah, let me look at that.
Here's the deal. We're just gonna have a chat, man. I'm not planning on taking you out of here, but we gotta have a talk. I'm telling you. Okay. What's your name then? Aaron what? Well, now see, here's the deal. Aaron. When I go back and I find out that it really was you, then I'm actually gonna get a warrant. Okay.
Wild animals. We look like.
Played, that's all. This guy over here may or may not have been our original suspect. Denied it, but it took an awful long time to come up with his name, so.
With no new leads, troopers move on to see if the allegedly battered woman might help them.
She seems pretty hesitant.
Obviously, I don't want to really talk to her, not anybody around.
And Trooper Riddle knows the woman's statement is key to building the case.
A lot of time, the victims don't leave their abuser. So we'll get to villages the next day, and maybe they were intoxicated the night before when it happened, and now that they're sobered up, they don't want to tell us about it.
Anybody home?
Hi. The good in us, we like to believe that people can change, but in this type of situation, that's not always the case. So we're here to talk about what happened.
Okay.
I see that you had quite a bit of bruising on your arm over here. It looks like you have a black eye. What happened?
I fell off the boat and I got bruises on my arm.
To me, I can look at these and tell these are from somebody grabbing you. They're like perfect finger impressions.
Okay.
So what really happened?
I don't know.
I mean, my main concern coming out here is I have to make sure that you're okay. I see you have 2 very tiny children. We want to make sure that they're going to be okay. So there's nothing else you want to tell me then?
No.
Doesn't want to talk to us and tell us what's going on, then there's not a whole lot we can do. Yeah, she didn't care to talk to me at all. She had nothing to say.
That's just the way folks in the village are. They're not going to talk to you until they trust you. She wants to make sure that she's going to be safe talking to you. There's no else way.
Our goal is all to do the same thing. You know, we want to keep people safe. That's our job. That's what we're here to do. But people have to want help for you to be able to give it to them a lot of times.